The Mahabharata is an ocean of stories, filled with divine heroes and cosmic wars. But hidden beneath its surface, among its lesser-known pages, lies a story few have ever heard. It is the strange, almost sacred last wish of King Pandu and the forbidden act of his youngest son, Sahadeva. This is the untold tale of how one boy gained the knowledge of all time, and the heavy curse that came with it. King Pandu, once a mighty ruler, was haunted by a terrible curse from the sage Pandava. It dictated that if he ever approached his wives with love, he would die instantly. Tormented by this fate and filled with guilt, he renounced his kingdom and lived as a hermit in the forest, with his wives, Kunti and Madri, far from the splendors of the palace. For years he lived a life of penance. But one day, overcome by a moment of sorrow and a surge of desire, he embraced Madri. The curse, swift and merciless, struck. Pandu fell to the earth, his life force fading away. As he drew his final breath, he looked at his 5 young sons and spoke a strange, desperate final wish. "My sons," he whispered, "after my death, consume my brain. For within it lies all the knowledge and wisdom I have gathered." His family stood frozen, paralyzed by shock and grief. How could they possibly fulfill such a request? As Pandu's body was prepared for the funeral rites, a heavy silence fell upon the Hermitage. His family and followers wept, their sorrow echoing through the forest. But young Sahadeva, always calm and observant, walked forward. While everyone else was lost in their grief, he remembered his father's final words. With hands that trembled, but a heart that was resolute, he approached his father's pyre. He took a small piece of Pandu's brain and, closing his eyes, placed it upon his tongue. In that single sacred instant, the world itself shifted. A flash of lightning tore across the sky. Time seemed to slow to a crawl and then fracture. Sahadeva saw everything. The past, the present, and the future unfolded before his eyes like an infinite scroll. He saw visions of the great Kurukshetra war, the divine form of Krishna, the rise and fall of mighty kingdoms, and stars spinning in the grand, cosmic dance of creation and destruction. Sahadeva had gained divine knowledge, the ultimate wisdom of all things that were, are, and will be. But this immense power did not come without a price. The gods themselves appeared before him and delivered a stern warning. "You now hold the secrets of the universe, Sahadeva. But if you reveal what you know to anyone, death will take you instantly." From that day forward, he carried a silent, solitary burden. He knew who would live and who would die in the Great War. He knew the tragic fate that awaited his beloved brothers. He even foresaw the very day when Lord Krishna himself would depart from the mortal world. Yet, he could speak of none of it. His knowledge was a cage, his wisdom a silent prison. He was a silent spectator to a destiny he already knew. The irony of his fate was not lost on the divine. Before the Great War began, Lord Krishna, the master of all destinies, approached Sahadeva with a knowing smile. "You already know the outcome of this war, don't you, son of Madri?" he asked gently. Sahadeva, with deep reverence, bowed his head. "Yes, Lord," he replied softly. "I know everything. But I am bound by my promise. I cannot speak of it." And so, the one man who held the entire blueprint of the future, who knew the fate of the world, remained silent as destiny unfolded, step by tragic step, exactly as he had foreseen. Sometimes, the greatest knowledge is not a gift to be celebrated, but a profound and lonely burden to be carried in silence. If this story moved you, remember that every great epic hides a secret waiting to be told. To discover more such tales, subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.